Ticket has arrived in Charlotte. We are ready to party.
They're classy too, man. I can wear this on a date.
People who are most successful are the ones who don't just give up.
Top Bin 90 is proud to welcome the Olszynski Law Firm as an official sponsor. With 2 locations in Charlotte and Concord, the Olszynski Law Firm specializes in personal injuries, criminal defense, DUIs, workers' compensation, and much, much more. With over 12 years practicing law, the Olszynski Law Firm makes it a priority to treat each client with the focus and dedicated representation that they need. For a free consultation in English or in Spanish, give them a call today.
Hi, my name is Justin Olszynski, managing partner of the Olszynski Law Firm, inaugural season ticket holder. Just here to let you know that our law firm, the Olszynski Law Firm, has you covered. We cover criminal law, family law, workers' compensation, personal injury. We're here to support you in your time of need. Give us a call.
Hello, and welcome to an all-new episode of the MLS Corner, the best corner in all of MLS. Another show, another Charlotte FC loss. You know, we were complaining about draws, so now we've got losses to talk about. With me tonight, I have a man who is a star by himself. I don't know what kind of sorcery you're doing on this show, David, but last time it was balloons, today it was lights. How are you today, bro?
Doing great. Thank you for having me on the show, bro.
Depressed FC or the depression. Someone who's not depressed but knows about match rigs is Mr. Lee from CLTFC Fan TV. How are you today, my man?
2-1. The score was 2-1. Good, man. I'm good. I mean, I'm just going to ride the Spurs train, man, since Charlotte definitely is not cutting it for me, man.
That is crazy. That is very, very crazy. And then we also have a newbie to the show today. We have Maxwell on tonight. Maxwell, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. I've watched some of your Crown breakdown, and I really, really like it. You do some great analysis on players and just analysis in general, man. Talk to us.
I appreciate it. I live out of town, but I'm a season ticket holder, so I come hang out with you guys at all the tailgates in the supporter section. But yeah, I do just short videos, kind of breakdown analysis as far as games, players. If you haven't seen it, check it out if you like. I'm working on another video here shortly, but I'm behind. Charlotte's been playing so many, games Wednesday, Saturday. It's hard to keep up with all of them.
For sure, man. And the team has depressed you so much that you decided to wear Independence jersey tonight, correct?
That's it. Because at least, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, the only soccer team in Charlotte winning right now.
Crown Legacy is too.
Like I said,
Yeah. But they're in Matthews.
I got to say, I like the MLS Next Pro side note real quickly, how, they can choose who they play against, right? And Tavares chose Columbus, and Red Bulls were really salty about that. And I was like, yo, I like this kind of I don't know, you go and have a pick at who you want to play, because I feel like that will kind of piss me off. Yo, why are you picking us? You think you could beat us? But anyways, MLS Next Pro is a very interesting style in the league, and so hopefully we adopt some of the stuff that they're doing, but we'll see. But let's get into it. Charlotte FC with another loss, 2-1 against New England Revolution this weekend. First, I want to take a look at this lineup that Lattanzio put out. To be honest with you guys, I was happy with it, and here's why. Because what did we see? We saw Merriman Gaines on the wings, natural wingers, not Brecht or, Bender, who we've been seeing, right? Obviously, he got injured, right? But natural wingers, we saw Swiderski at the 9, which in my opinion has been a more effective 9 than Enzo Copetti this season. We saw De Jagere back in the midfield. I can't even say back because he's never played at that 8/10 role, right? And we saw Yere back at left back, right? All in all, I thought it was a decent lineup to get things going. Obviously, as the game progressed, You know, that first half, I almost fell asleep, right? But I'll start off with you, David. Talk to me about what you saw from this lineup.
Personally, starting off with the lineup, I thought it was interesting that he chose the Yagare to throw him in the midfield, and then because previously he had him on the wing. About the weekend before, I thought maybe Arfield would have got the chance to be on the starting lineup, but I was a little surprised by that. But I personally didn't watch the game when it happened, but watching it back, like you said, first half was very, very boring. Second half, it definitely increased. I think it definitely changed whenever the tactics changed, the subs changed, Enzo Copetti coming on. That's when everything changed. I personally didn't think that the starting 11 was adequate enough for the New England Revolution.
Who would you have liked that you didn't see from the get-go?
I would have switched maybe the Yagare, put him up on the wing, and then started Arfield in the midfield, or maybe Derek Jones or somebody. I just didn't expect him to be in the midfield and then starting Gaines, because we haven't seen Gaines in a minute.
Yeah,
That's 'cause he's so
fair. I mean,
fast.
to be honest with you, though, I feel like from what we were sold and what I was told, the Yagare was coming in more at that 8/10 role. So Tandia, who's been choosing to throw him on the wing. So I was very curious to see him in that creative role. Maxwell, what did you make of this lineup?
You know, I liked having Gaines on the wing. I think the speed on the wing has been lacking a little bit. Watching that game back, I think that Gaines and Miram were our best creators. I too would have liked to see Arfield in the lineup a little bit earlier than the 65th minute or whatever it was that he came on. But yeah, I agree. I think the subs, they just weren't quite as good as what we needed. The teams kind of figure out that they can just bunker against us, and so we're stuck either trying to play through a lot of numbers. I thought I was begging for Capetti or Ajimang early in the game to get somebody on the end of our crosses, but other than that, I thought the lineup was really good. It was more the subs that I've got an issue with.
Lee?
Yeah.
What did you make of the game? What did you make of?
I mean, it was all right. I mean, damn it, man. It's Charlotte. They're so frustrating, right? And, I mean, everybody knows Lattanzio with his bad subs. I mean, you look at the lineup, our wing, our whole game goes through the wings, and that's our weakest spot on the team, and it's just terrible, man. I don't know. Come on, I'm just ready for this Miami game to be over with at home, so that way we can just start over fresh, man. Flush the whole system out, get rid of Zoran, get rid of Lattanzio, man. Let's do a Cincy and just revamp the whole fucking thing at this point.
This is a good point too Casey makes. How many times have we actually seen a consecutive starting 11? And I mean, well, we're 30 games in now, right? And I mean, like, we still haven't seen back-to-back 11s. I mean, if you really look at it, right, we have an idea of who we would want to start, but we don't know who's going to start, right? And I think that's a problem, right? I mean, there's a reason why we've conceded so many goals this season. There's a reason why, the team doesn't look fluid. And I think part of that is that, I mean, so far from what I'm noticing, I mean, we had 2 shots on goal this game, right? That's terrible. Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
how many shots we had over the last 6 games, man? We probably only had like 12 on target.
Yeah, that's a fair point too. But I mean, one of the things that I complain more about, right, is okay, maybe we aren't getting the result, but there should be some sort of desire in this team to try to do something. That desire that we saw against Philly last year, against New York City FC, against Columbus at home, even though we drew that game, they went down fighting, right? And I can accept that at least, right? Versus some of the stuff that I see from this team now, very lackadaisical, right? We know Swiderski wants to move on, right? We don't know who's starting at the 9, right? It looks like Swiderski is going to be back at the 10 tomorrow, right? So I mean, it's just confusion in and out in this team, right? And we were playing a New England team that, to be honest, they're having issues with themselves. They let go of Bruce Arena. They had won 1 in the last 5 games as well. So it really shows you the state of where our team is at currently, right? And is just not good enough.
Dude, we're called Stop the Streak FC, man. If anybody's losing, man, all you gotta do is look on the calendar and see when you play Charlotte, man, and we got you.
Don't say that.
You know, I hate to say it, but that's what I'm worried about this next game too. Is that it's going to be
100%.
John, what's his head, Herdman's first game in charge of Toronto.
Yep.
So,
New
Yeah,
manager
yeah,
now.
yeah.
hopefully they haven't figured it out yet with the 1 week.
Yeah, this is a good question. Has Latanzo lost the locker room? I wouldn't necessarily say he's lost the locker room, but I would say he's lost confidence from a lot of players.
Dude, there's no
From that-
grit in this team, man. There's no grit. I mean, it's like that rant you went on after the game and you posted, Jorge. That was exactly what needed to be said. It's just. I mean, it's a chore to watch these guys now. And I hate to say it because I want them to win, man. But Jesus, I wouldn't say no, and I will never turn my back and I always be a fan of Charlotte, right? But it's just like, I don't know. It's just, I'm just ready for this season to be over with. And let's just come out with a fresh attitude come January and kickstart it again.
I feel you. Here's a question I have for you guys, right? I mean, Swiderski scored his 9th MLS goal this season, right? In my opinion, right, he's been okay. Before I give my opinion, I'll post a question: is Swiderski underperforming, or is he performing in spite of being in an underperforming team? And I want to hear from everybody in the comment section as well, right? And I'll start off with you, Lee.
I'd say it's a little bit of both, right? I mean, he's not getting the service to be able to play the way we know he can play, but then sometimes it boils back down to why we never shoot. We always want to walk it in, and it's like, come on, man! Like we know Carroll can put a ball on target and score 9 times out of 10, but I don't know, man. It's just I don't know, man. I just don't know anymore. Dan.
Because if I recall these last 2 games, right, with New England, right, if we would have kept it at 1-1, right, that's a point. Against who did Brett commit that penalty against? It was Orlando, no, DC. He scored that header, right, that could have got us 3 points. I mean, that's 4 points that our DP player is in there to get us, right? But we capitulate. We are the ones that have our own issues and lose or draw these games, right? So, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, the guy is performing in spite of being in an underperforming team because he's played at the 9, he's played at the 10, he's played on the wing, right? He's played a mixture of an 8 as well. Maxwell, your thoughts?
I think it's a little bit of both as well. Just with the way that the team plays, it's not conducive to him getting in spots to score the goal. That when he's playing as the 9, he's kind of floating around, and I mean, it's more of a set it up for someone else. That I think he needs someone else to play off of to help him score more goals. But just with him in the lineup, I think he's underperforming a little bit, but it's the system that he's in, so it's a little bit of both there.
Would have, could have, should have FC, man.
Yeah, I think so too. And I mean, that's the reason I guess Enzo Copetti was brought in. But to be honest, Enzo hasn't, to me, lived up to that DP hype, right? He's had some decent games. He scored some goals. Right, but at the end of the day, and I always say this, I judge the roster based off how they hit the cap. I judge you based off how much you're getting paid. If you're a DP player, whatever status you have within this squad, that's how I'm going to judge you, because you're supposed to build a team in MLS around that. You have restrictions, you have salary caps, you have DP spots. David, your thoughts? Underperforming Carroll, or performing in spite of being in an underperforming team?
I think he's performing in spite of being in an underperforming team, because I mean he's definitely our best player this season, and in my opinion he was our best player last season as well. He's got more goals and assists. Well, he's on the way to more assists from last season. I feel like he would have more assists if the team around him would be a little bit better in the attacking third. He has 9 goals, only 3 assists. I feel like he would have way more if people would actually shoot the ball, because he has put us in a lot of great positions, especially like that crazy assist he had for Jalen Lindsey. I can't remember who we played that game.
Point.
He's done a lot, and he's always working hard. Like, you've never, like, there's been times where you see Carroll like get like down on himself a little bit, but like every time you see him, he works hard off the ball. He's probably been like one of the hardest working players that we have, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the chat mentioned it was Philly. I think it was that Philly game when he saw that penalty that I think he like threw a water bottle down, because he's like, damn, what else do I have to do to get this team to win a game?
Score 2 goals. Simple.
Right. Dang, Lee. I'm going to have you do a rant that follows mine.
I'll just ramble about nothing, man. It's just frustrating, right? I mean, again, seeing what St. Louis is doing, man, you know, it's just
that is true too. I
It's
mean,
good
like
for them.
they can't even use the excuse that like, oh, we're a new team. Bro, the newest team just topped the West, right?
Yeah.
And also, this speaks volumes of this league as well. We have 2 wins in 16 games, and we still have an opportunity to make playoffs. That, to me, doesn't speak well of the structure of MLS, right? Because at this point, we should be nowhere near having an opportunity to make a playoff spot, but we still are.
What was that one tweet that went out that, he was saying you have to be, what was it? Like, you have to be, like, I can't remember what word he used, but it was like abysmal. You have to be like an abysmal team to not make the playoffs now in MLS.
Oh, here we are.
Like,
We
no.
You're like, did y'all call?
Yeah.
Hey,
But the sad.
Pat's not the only one answering the call. Charlotte FC.
That's it. But what the sad thing is, right? It started off at us being just outside the playoffs. We had games in hand, and it was in our control to sort of like make it to the playoffs, and it's slowly progressing. Right now, it's like, well, if a couple of results go away, we could still make it. At some point, it's just too much, man.
Yeah,
Jesus.
But having said that, let's take a look at that too, right? I mean, our next 4 matches are against the bottom team in the East, in Toronto FC, who have had a nightmare of a season by themselves, right? You've seen, who was it? Insigne yelling at some fan. That video went viral, right? And we play them at home. Then we go to Chicago, who's placed 11th in MLS as well, who's not in the playoff spot right now, right? Then we take on 13th place Inter Miami, who could be missing up to 12 players because of international fixtures in Miami. So it's going to be a whole nother squad that we're facing. Then we play them again at home. There is no better scenario that Charlotte could ask for to try to make playoffs than the scenario that they have right now with 4 very, very winnable games. That's all I'm saying, right? The problem is, as Lee has coined it, Charlotte is gonna Charlotte. You mentioned that we will only make 6 points out of the last, 9 games, Lee? We're at 7 right now. How you feeling with these last 4?
I mean, if we're just looking at the last 4, we're going to be lucky to get 4 points. And one of them will be a win, and then the other will be a draw, and then 2 losses.
Maxwell, what do you see from this run from Charlotte?
I mean, like I said earlier, I'm a little bit worried about that new manager bump for Toronto, that even though they're a bad team, I mean, I'm a little bit worried about that. I think Chicago is going to be a tough one to go to and get points again. I'm hoping we can pull off a Chicago match like the end of last season with a comeback win instead of a comeback loss. Dropping points like we're used to this season. And then, Miami, I think, is winnable. I mean, especially if they're going to be out players in Messi. So, I think we should be able to get a couple of points, but I'm not expecting playoffs from this team. Yeah,
I mean, I will only have an inch of belief if we get 6 points if we get 3 points tomorrow and then another 3 points in Chicago. Right? Because, I mean, those Miami games, right, they could be at a point, too, where they say, you know what? we've accomplished what we needed to this season, right? They've won a cup. They've improved as a team, right? You know, it was already a big ask to have them make playoffs, right? And to me, it's an acceptable season for them. And the whole Messi thing, listen, this is what, from what I'm hearing and what I see, they're giving a little show saying he's training, doing this. I don't think he plays, right? I think there's a lot of pressure on Don and MLS right now to show Messi trying to play these games versus actually him playing because, you know, look at what Chicago's doing. They got to refund people because the GOAT isn't showing up, right?
You hear that, Tepper?
Yes, I should be doing the same thing. $100 upper deck tickets, man.
Those
For
bugs.
real.
Man, they're gonna be on their fucking yachts floating around Thanksgiving, man, and everybody else gonna be like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna renew my tickets. But
Yeah.
seriously, this play-in thing, right? I mean, if we make it, do we beat New York? Do we beat Montreal? Do we beat DC United? Do we beat Chicago? Do we beat the Red Bulls, man? Do we beat those teams to make it into the playoffs? No, it's just another waste of a game that we have to show up and report on, man. It's
Well,
like
listen, we also didn't lose some of those per Latanzio, you know. So
This is true.
yeah,
he's like, we're not winning them, but we're also not losing them. But I'm like, okay, but you're still not in a playoff spot, which is what we're.
it was
60% of teams in the Eastern Conference make one of those spots, right?
I mean-
that's a problem that we're not. We've been in a playoff spot, what, maybe 2 or 3 match seasons this year out of 9 teams. That's crazy. That's pathetic, right? And like I said last year, you know what? I was okay. I accepted that we finished 9th in spite of firing a coach and all these things that were going on. And you know what? Like, okay, we get it, right? First season, but we're in year 2, 30 games in, and we're 14th. It's terrible. David, talk to us about this run.
Man, we have to be perfect, to be honest, bro. Because if not, it's done. We're done. Because honestly, I feel like we could definitely get a win against Toronto, even though for some reason I just have a feeling about this game that we might draw. But I don't want to say we're going to lose because I seriously doubt we lose against Toronto. But I think if we get a win here against Toronto, we get a win against Chicago, then we can definitely pull out a win against Miami. But I don't know if we'll be consistent enough to get a double against Miami. Maybe a draw twice.
Yeah, I can see that. Carl is making great points tonight, too. We do play down to the level of our competition. Sometimes we do play up, to be fair. I mean, we beat LAFC, right? And then we could have had Philly. We could have had Orlando,
Nashville.
right? But to me, it's too little too late, right? If you do not make playoffs, I consider this a failed season, right? Because Charlotte set the expectation. I didn't come out and say Charlotte needed to make playoffs. Nobody did. They said it, right? They said it with the pricing. They said it with the expectations. They said it with the signings, right? And in my opinion, we have failed so far, right? Can they still do it? Yes. Will they? That's another conversation, right? All right, let's talk a little bit about that Toronto match. Maxwell, what would you like to see from Charlotte FC tomorrow?
Something different.
Kalina at the nine.
Yeah, I mean, if we do the same thing, I don't think it's going to work. Lineup wise, I mean, I think we already talked about it a little bit, but I would like to see both Capetti and Swiderski in it again. I think, you know, as they kind of started to play together, they started to play off each other. You know, the game before the New England one, you know, I'd like to see Gaines on the wing again. I think he did really good in the New England game. Passing wise, I think he had the highest passing percentage on the team. Other than one cross that didn't make it in, he was 100%. So I'd like to see Gaines again, just to get some speed down the wing, maybe get some long ball breaks. You know, because teams like to just sit back and defend against us. They know we build really slow. So I think some of the speed would really help, you know, do something different.
You make a valid point there. I mean, how did we score against New England? It was direct football, right? It was none of this ticky-tacky stuff, right, that we seem to want to play. It wasn't none of the wingers. It was a direct, oh, man, bring Big Sammy in, man.
No. But yeah, you do make a point with that. Like sometimes we do unnecessary stuff that we don't like. We get lucky to and not get found out. There was a terrible ball Malanda gave up in that first half against New England, and also Kalina, right? Like he cleared a ball and like their striker almost got to it as well. And I'm like, see, this is where like stuff like this pisses me off too, where like there's simple things. If there's pressure, if you have 4 attackers around you, and like just clear the fucking ball. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no need sometimes to try to play out the back when there's so many threats around you, right? And so I mean, and this isn't a beginning of the season thing. It's 30 matches in. I said this. I can be patient 10, 15 matches for you to show me what we've got going on that I can believe in. But now we are 34 left in the season, right? And what I want to see tomorrow, start Scott. Scott's the only one that comes in there with some energy. And you know what? At this point, put him from the beginning. I do not care. Start that man. You saw in his sub a little bit of a spark. David said Enzo. To me, it was more of a Scott kind of spark that I liked. Obviously, I like that he kept Swiderski. I was almost certain if you had me bet yet Saturday, I would have said he was going to take off Carroll. He didn't, and guess what? You played Carroll for 90 minutes, and he delivered for you. David, what would you like to see different tomorrow?
Definitely both of our strikers on the field. Kopetti, Swiderski. There it is again.
Love it.
What
man.
are you doing?
Man, how do you do that, man? That's cool as hell, man.
I have no idea.
Sure, we got to figure this out, man. We got to figure it out. That's
We'll
what we
fingers
want
up
to see.
this time. We'll do something different.
Yeah, we want to see balloons, man. That's what we want to see. That's different.
We gotta have
You're
that magic.
getting balloons with the 2. You're getting like raves with 4 fingers up.
Dude, I don't even know now, bro. That threw me. Oh my
God,
goodness, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you celebrating, dog? Tell us. Are you celebrating Charlotte FC losses? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I have a feeling that we're about to put a good spell in towards the end here. I feel like the team's probably about to get it together, hopefully, because the way it's set up, bro, it's hard for us not to get. That's right, party leader. But dude, we have to get these results here at the end, man. Our attack has been subpar from last season to this season. Last season we averaged 1.2 goals a game. This season we average 1.1. We have made no progress in our attack. So I'd like to see our strikers go out there. I'd like to see Vargas. I'd like to see Gaines out there. Like as Maxwell said, that speed kills people. Speed kills. Get some crosses. Have both of your strikers that can get on the end of some service. Have Arfield in the midfield, somebody who's not afraid to shoot the ball and can create some good passes, and we can get a result. But we'll see. That's up to Charlotte FC.
Lee, do you not find it disappointing that nobody's asking for Kamil Yazviak to start? A player who's a DP in this roster?
I mean, that speaks dividends to the team, right? I mean, and what's going on with this club? I mean, shit. You know, what would I like to see different? How about a win? That would be completely different, right? I mean, last year we won 13 games. This year so far we've only won 7, right? Even if we finished our last 4 games out, we still haven't even tied what we had last year in wins, man. It's just it's piss poor, man. The whole team, like I don't know what to say anymore. I don't want to keep bashing on them, man, but Jesus, like something's got to change, right? And in my opinion, it starts at the top. I think Zorn needs to go. I think Latanzio needs to go. And man, I mean, it's just time. It's just time, man. It's like that we just need a fresh blood in there. I don't want to be that revolving door for managers by any means. But I'm just sick of it. It's like, dude, your system's not working, right? Switch it up. Shit. What you've changed it every single game. Why not change it to like 4-4-2 for a game? What's the worst that's gonna happen? We're gonna draw or we're gonna lose, right? Shit. Hey, we might pull it out and have a win and then we can get more balloons on the screen. Who knows? so pissed off, man. It's such a chore to watch these guys. It's frustrating, is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I think someone mentioned it too that Zoran went. I think it was on Mid City Soccer Show, and he mentioned how he got it wrong by not like
Whatever, man. That's
by
just
not like bringing in more MLS experience. I'm like, okay, like that to me, that's like the VAR people coming out and saying
2-1. The score was 2-1.
they made a
Let's
mistake.
talk about
It
Spurs.
doesn't change anything. You made a mistake does not mean that either redo the match, give us the points, or do something. Just admitting that you did something wrong does not help, right? And this is where I think I agree.
It would be
Lou.
different. It would be different though if like, the difference is like, okay, you've admitted you made a mistake. What are you doing about it?
Exactly.
Like, make that change then. All right. Oh man. I'll be curious to see how many crosses that we've actually made into the box versus that got blocked.
Yeah.
Like,
I tell you, most
all
of
we
them
do
are
is
blocked.
push out to the wing. What's that?
I
What'd you
said
say?
most of them are blocked.
Yeah, I'd say probably about 85% of them.
Probably higher than that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they have those stats. I know, there's Stats Central out there, but yeah, man, it's just sad, man. It's like we're slow to attack. When we attack, we push it out wide, we cross it in, it either gets blocked or the keeper gets it. It's just like the same with our set pieces and corners, man. It's like, yay, we got a corner. We're all singing Charlotte FC just for the keeper to say, oh no, that's me, right? And then we're done, man. It's bullshit. I'm sorry, Shard FC, man. I want to love you. I do love you. I want you guys to win, man. And it's like, it's just frustrating. Doing the same thing over and over again is insanity, man. And it's just not working.
Yeah.
Flip the script. Who cares?
Listen, the negativity is very warranted, right? This is where I'm at. This team, I think I mentioned it already too, should be between 5th and 7th. The build of this squad should be good enough to be between 5th and 7th. I'm not expecting to be top of the West like St. Louis is, by the way, in their first season, right? I'm not expecting to be a Cincy, right, where you're right at the top. But you should be competitive and you should be within a playoff spot in your second year with the amount of investment that you made into this team. And if you're 14th, then that means either one, players are underperforming, two, the coach is underperforming, or three, the roster build is bad, right? And I think it's a mixture of all three now, right? And that's the problem because you didn't even hit one right.
And if you add 1, 2, and 3 together, that gives you 6. That's more points than we can get in the last 4 games.
What?
You said 1, 2, 3. That's 5, 6. We ain't getting 6 points in the last 4 games. It's just like, if it's not working, man, change it. Like, I get it, right? Maybe 1 or 2 games early in the season, you're trying to get this new, like, I don't know, style of play implemented, man. But it is not working, man. It's not working. It's not gonna work. We've been sussed out. It's like, let's end the show, man, so I can just go to bed.
Dang, Lee. All right. I want to talk about this back line a little bit more, too. I mean, Euronen, Byrne, Malanda, and Privet. Is these 2 young center backs and Yedid and Byrne our best back 4? Because, I mean, we've leaked a lot of goals this season. And I'll start off with, I guess, Maxwell. Talk to us.
All right. I mean, the holes, a lot of that is just by design of our game plan. You know, we push up so far forward that it just leaves them exposed so that they have to be good in the one-on-one defending. The thing I do like about Byrne, if you watch him, he's really good at doing those recovery runs. He's really fast, gets himself between the ball and the attacker, and then takes a little bit of touch, draws a foul. You know, we've seen him do that over and over again. But then he just gets worn out by the end of the match, and then we see, like we did at Nashville, that he,
man.
yeah, I mean that too. But you know, then we see like he did, you know, Nashville, that he tries to do the same thing and then gets a penalty just because, you know, he's playing all game, making these long runs back.
I disagree with that because I feel like Kalina could have come out and got that ball in Nashville. Like, if you watch it, he makes the run back, right? And he's the last guy back. He's the last guy. It was a pen. I'm not saying it's not a pen. I'm saying Kalina could have stopped it before it even started. But like, Byrne makes those runs back. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to put it all on Burn. I'm just saying,
No.
because he's doing that 90 minutes. I mean, it's hard to ask him to have 100% success rate through 90 plus minutes of doing that sprint back and getting in front of the attacker. So, I mean, I like Burn there. I think Malanda's doing a really good job. It's just kind of a bummer that we have all these center backs on the bench too, that we don't use them. Like Guzman Corujo, who was just, rock solid season 1, disappears after the injury. I know Tuiloma didn't have the best run of form, but he disappeared. Sobocinski was decent. He's gone too. And so it just seems like we're stuck with these guys. I'd almost rather us go to a back 5 and let Lindsay play the ball long, or let Burn be on the opposite side of wing back and kind of go up and just get more stability on the defense. I think that might work better with the style that we're trying to play, of playing such a high back line, that if we had a few more players back there, that it might work out a little bit better to our favor. But with the style that we're playing, I think this is probably the best back line that we're going to get, if we keep playing this system Lattanzio's playing.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with that too. And I mean, like you saw, like Tuiloma got found out really, really quick, right? In this system, right? Same thing. I think Corujo hasn't gotten the proper chance, right? I mean, he's an experienced center back, 27, 28 now, right? A player that, like, I mean, I get Privet, I get him implementing him, but I think he's overplayed him. It's his first season in MLS, right? Like, good, integrate him into the team and develop him, but at the same time, right, we're still leaking a lot of goals, right? I mean, and you saw he definitely made, I think, 2 of Cincy's goals last weekend, right, came because of Andrew Privet, right? I mean, that Lucho Costa goal, you really can't say much, but still, right? And so you're seeing it in this back line, right, where players are being found out, and like, this is the best we have right now, right? David, what do you make of our back line?
I can't say that's the best back line we've seen all season, because, like I said, we have good moments. We don't have good consistency. So we can't say, like, oh, that's a good back 4, because we haven't seen that back 4 consistently enough to say, oh, that's our good back 4. We just see them have good moments within the game. But at the same time, when we think that's our best back 4, we also let 2 goals where we just let people completely unmarked that game. The first goal against New England, there was 6 people in the box. Nobody was marking him. Second goal, we had 9 total people in the box. Nobody was marking him. So it's tough to say that that's definitely our best back 4 when we haven't seen a back 4 consistently enough.
For sure. Lee, anything else you want to add to those points?
Yeah, I'd like to say I think Nathan just gets left out there on the island, man. He, like Maxwell was saying, he does run back, he makes those runs. But if you look, like when he's making those runs and he's trying to get the ball out, or if the ball slows down and he's trying to, like, be strong and hold off that forward, there's nobody there's no out for him. He's like stuck in this little island by himself. I think he gets a lot of slack for the scores, and I personally don't think it's all on him. I mean, personally, I think Privet's done pretty well, right? I mean, the guy kind of got thrown in. I believe it was when Corujo got hurt. I think it was when he first came in. And then even when Corujo got hurt, personally, I think he played it off. He was out of position. He was slow to get back. He gave up on the play, and then they took him out. We haven't seen him since. So I don't know. I mean, back 4, I like Burn. I like Privet, and I like Malanda too. I just think, for us to be able to compete week in, week out, man, like, our central defenders need to be upgraded. And like you said, at least rotate them 2 guys in. The Finnish guy, he looks like he's going to be a solid player.
Yeah, that was my next question. I think Yere has been a decent signing for how we want to play as well. I mean, that was kind of my next question for you guys as well. I mean, like, let's take a look a little bit into who we've brought in, right? We brought in Ashley Westwood. We brought in Enzo Copetti, Scott Arfield, Yere Ronan, right? Who am I missing? Any Breck de Jager, right? I mean, I feel like we haven't really missed in most of these signings. These players have come in and been impactful, right? But with that being said, like, why aren't we improving? Right?
Because we want to play wing play, and we don't have the wingers to play that style of play, man. That's why when we go direct, you see a score. It's like it can't. I don't know, man. Just give me a couple of $1 million, man. I'll go out there for 6-7 games. Y'all can bitch me out, and I'll just wave and leave, man. I'll quit. Just pay out my contract, and and that's it. I'll go back into the stands and cheer.
Yeah.
We just don't have a complete team yet. And then when we look at the subs, and when we look like who can we bring on to liven this up, other than Patrick, who we got?
Yeah.
Arfield, because he's starting on the bench for some reason, not in the game.
True. Yeah, there's that too. What's that?
Vargas, I think he's a great sub, man. I honestly, sometimes I feel like he should be the one starting because sometimes Miram, to me, doesn't do enough.
Yeah, but Miram has more goals than Vargas.
It doesn't matter.
He's been in the team less time.
Dude, what do you mean? What difference? How many games has he played?
When did we sign Miram?
When we ran
in the
up on
summer. How has he already contributed more in goals than Vargas? That's a problem.
Dude, we got 37 goals this year, man. Man, we're only scored. Oh my
right.
God.
But what I'm saying is, when a 34-year-old player who quote unquote would typically be in the end of his career is outplaying and benching a U22 player, right, that costs upwards close to $2 million or whatever his price tag was, that's a problem.
What's minutes played? What's minutes played between them both?
That's
I don't know.
They're about the same. I've got it open.
Yeah,
right
I was
now.
gonna say they both haven't
just about the
started
same.
consistently. But to me, I'm gonna take Miram over Vargas because I see more there. He's gonna contribute more in a span of 34 games, in my opinion.
I will give Vargas
wouldn't contribute as much as Miram does. I get it. He's vibrant. He comes in and sometimes gives a boost. But in my opinion, again, judging off of the roster build, right, he's not doing enough. There's U22 players in this league that are balling out. He's not doing that. And our other one, he's never played.
Yeah,
right?
but how much of that is because he's stuck in this system that Lattanzio is playing? Like we were talking about earlier about is he underperforming or is he overperforming in
Miram's in the same system.
Miram is in the same system, but two of his goals, the Atlanta game is, he's getting in a good position and we're actually getting good crosses off. That he's, open far side of the goal. It comes to him, he puts it in.
Game 4 that he's scored.
He's in the right spot at the right time to put in the rebound. I'm not trying to downplay Miram because I think he's been really good, but I think like Swiderski, they're creative players that they're being put in a system that prioritizes slow, steady build up. That I don't think they have the chance to show, what they can actually do or what they're good at. It all comes back to coaching. That it's really, my biggest thing about it is you just put a square peg in a round hole, and it just doesn't work.
Right.
One thing I do like about
Vargas, what does Vargas truly do well? That would
he takes home players. He drives at players. That's it.
Okay. What do we need from our wingers? We need goals and assists.
We need crosses to get
That's what you judge your wingers off of, goals and assists. Same thing with your striker, right?
So what's your point?
That I would start Miram over Vargas, and that Miram hasn't been producing. Right? When he shoots, 2 out of the 10 shots he has go on.
Nobody on the team shoots, man. Nobody on the team shoots. That's the problem.
Okay, that is a fair point, right? But Lattanzio said that he gives them free creativity in that.
No, he does not.
But it does not look like
it. Bullshit. Yeah, no. He doesn't give them freedom. You see him when they come here, the first 2 or 3 games, man, they're lighting it up, man. And then once they get Lattanzio training, man, they go. Where do they go? You can name half of our wingers that started for us over the last 2 years since Lattanzio's been in. Once the player comes in and gets some training, Bender looks like he's been pulled back, man. The players are being pulled back and held back, man. At the last 4 games, I would just say, fuck it. Y'all just go play, man. I'm just going to sit here and watch. Right?
Well, and you know what? To a degree, they were playing with more freedom near the end of the season last year. It was a little bit more of pragmatic ball, but it worked. You know, look how well we did against, that Philadelphia at home was one of the best games last season.
Yeah, they were playing more freely and they were playing quicker.
Yeah, and to be honest, in my opinion, Enzo, in terms of the type of player he is, has more in his arsenal than Rios. But Rios got 4 goals for us in 1 match.
I say we bring back Riley McGree, man.
You know, when we're stuck in a slow build-up that Capetti can't get on the end of the long balls. I mean, if you look at most of the goals he's scored, it's the crosses whipped in from Lindsay ahead of the back line that he can chase down and get onto, beat a defender. I swear Lattanzio is just telling these guys, no, you got the ball up in a good spot, stop, wait for everybody else. But then we wait for the defense to pack the box too, and then we're stuck whipping it across to a box of 10 players on the opposite team. That's why our crosses don't work.
Or when we have an opportunity to shoot in the final third, it's probably coached into them to look for a man in the box versus trying to take a shot on. Right? And we've seen that time and time again.
Our best crosser of the ball consistently stays on the bench in Jalen.
That's true.
If we're going to be a crossing team, at least put the guy on that can cross it.
That's fair.
Of course it's fair. I'm always fair.
Right? But then it also goes to show you too, though, if we're debating who our wingers should be, right, how much of it is it on the roster build and how much of it is it on the coach?
Yeah, put Lindsay up as a winger, man. What we got to lose?
You say what, Maxwell?
I said I put it all on the coach. I think we've got enough quality in our team to be good. Okay. I think it's just the tactics that are letting us down.
I can see that more because of how 9 teams out of 15 make playoffs. 4 more points. If we had 3 more points, we would be in a very good position to still make a playoff.
Look, if it was 14 teams in the East making the playoffs, we would be in 15th spot, man. There's no question in my mind.
Man, Lee's going in tonight.
I'm just over it, man. It's hard to fucking watch this team play, man. It's frustrating. Like you said, Capetti's making the runs down the middle of the pitch, but instead of just popping it over the top and letting him run onto it, we slow the game down and push it out. There's probably 8 or 9 times you see that guy make that run, and I'm not a Capetti fan by any means, but you see him make that run, and then it's just him and that defender, and he's got the speed enough to beat him. But what do? We slow it down, we pass it back, we push it out wide, we cross it in if it goes in the box, and then or the goalkeeper gobbles. It's just so frustrating. Come on, Charlotte, man. Jesus Christ.
But to be honest with you, that was a Lattanzio signing. He wanted Enzo. He knew what he could get out of it.
Yeah, but they're not passing it to Lenzo.
Lenzo.
I can't even say their name. I got Lattanzio, Enzo, everybody all mixed up. But you get my point. There's nothing wrong playing direct sometimes. Mix it up in the game, man. You could see it, man. Oh,
yeah. I feel like every time we play a team, we get figured out quick because they know that we're going to play it out wide. We're going to try to cross it in. We don't dribble at people. We don't take shots. That's too predictable for us. We don't have any chemistry within the team. We don't utilize our players to the max performance that we need to. It's not good enough.
You know what? If we do lose against Toronto, right, that's pretty much nailed our spot of not making the playoffs, right? I say these last 3 games, man, just completely mix it up. Use it as a preseason game and just figure the hell out what's going to happen next season.
If we lose tomorrow to Toronto, would you make a coaching change? Right,
yes.
Right after that game?
Yes. I would even say make a coaching change if we make the play in because we're going to get played right out.
Bro. Toronto hasn't won on the road in over a year.
FC.
The last time they won a game on the road was in Charlotte.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Swear.
Somebody double check this man, because last week he came here and lied to us.
Check it. Toronto has lost 11 of their last 12 games. We cannot lose tomorrow, man.
That man's got a pen in his hand. He came prepared. Oh, now he's slamming down the notebook. Go ahead,
Yay.
Dave.
Yeah, he's
Feel it, man.
prepared
It's
for that one.
good. Yeah, it's good, man. It feels good to let it all out. You know what I mean? I'm feeling
See, but
much
the problem
better.
again, it's their first game in charge. With the new head coach in charge for Toronto too. They're gonna get that new manager bump, man. I swear, I don't have high expectations for this game.
No, I don't either. Best case tomorrow is a draw. Worst case, we lose.
Best case, a draw is not good enough, though.
I know it's not. But that's exactly what's
not
gonna
good
happen.
enough has been the story of the season, man.
It has
Yeah,
been.
we
Not
stopped
good enough.
seeing,
Or
man.
like we get excited because we have those moments. Okay, 2-0, we're leading. Just see this through. We just scored. We drew this game. All right, let's get this point out. Loss, draw. It's been a terrible season, all in all. And you're right. Even if we make that play-in, the only way I would be happy is if we go deep in the playoffs, right?
What'd you say?
But Wisconsin would have to do something.
My
other
humans
than
going
what
up,
they've done all
man.
season.
What'd you say we're doing? What? We're not. You
I
said
said
if.
if.
Oh God, I thought you said we're gonna go deep. I about lost it there, man. I was shutting down the stream for you, man. This man. If.
All right. And then finally, I guess then we'll talk a little bit about. I want to hear everybody's score predictions for this weekend, and I'll start off with the most positive man on our stream tonight, Lee.
My team is going to win tomorrow. Toronto FC 2-1.
Toronto FC Fan TV.
That's it, man. I'm moving up north, man. I'm going back home. I'm going to, it's all about the monarchy at this point. Long live the Queen.
Trust but verified. That was directed at you, David. David, score prediction.
2-1. We win.
Let's go. Who scores the point?
Man? Oh, what is wrong with y'all, man? We've been saying we're gonna win all season. We don't win, man. We don't
We
win.
have to win, Lee. We
have to. No,
win.
I so want to eat crow on this, man. I so want to eat crow. We're not crazy,
I mean,
man.
the season has been bad enough, okay?
Oh,
I at least want to end on a positive note, knowing that, okay, we were trash towards the end of the season.
No, but
I mean,
that means Latanzio stays. It has to end on a negative note, so he's out of here.
I just want something to celebrate. I'm tired of leaving every game pissed off.
We're gonna celebrate the end of the season, man. We're gonna have a big party, man.
At least have something good. At least
I'm gonna go ahead.
Just one
I'm
thing.
gonna go ahead and ruin your party and say, even if we end on a bad note, I'm not sure.
Laddie stays.
That Latanzio will be let go.
The next.
No, I don't think he's going to let go. I think Soren's going to be here, and I think Laddie's going to be there at the beginning of next season, man. And we're going to be 10, 15 games into it, and we go, should have let him go at the beginning of the season, man. I don't know. I just look at Cincinnati. They flushed it out, man, and then now look at them, man. So, I mean, but if we keep
Houston, bro, look at Houston. They just won the Open Cup.
Yeah, and they don't have a problem.
Maxwell, score predictions for tomorrow?
I'm with Lee. 2-1 Toronto. I think Charlotte goes up 1-0 and then does what Charlotte's been doing all season long, dropping points.
Wow.
Isn't that sad that we're the only team that can go up by 2 and none of us are confident that we can pull it through?
See, I'm blaming Brian on this. Not Yeti Clan Brian, but Brian Media, right? He created a show called Dropping Points that he runs on there for and what have we done all season is drop fucking points, man. This man, he needs to be on the show so we can rag him out, man. Bam, where you at? Where you at, man? Change the name of your show, man. How about Charlotte FC wins it all? That would be awesome. That's what his new show name needs to be.
Change it to Gaining Points. Where we'll be
gaining points, whatever,
We'll be losing 2-0 and then we'll win 3-2.
Yeah. Dropping points.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, honestly though, Westwood talked about that at the beginning of the season, where he was saying, right, hey, one of the things that this team needs to do is, figure out how to close games out. 30 games into the season, and we still don't know how to close games out. Which is crazy. With all that said,
that we're getting in at 34 years old.
3-1 win for the Crown tomorrow.
Yeah, somebody asked you what gummies are you munching on earlier, man? What for real?
For the Crown. You know, we'll see a Swiderski double tomorrow for him to go into double digits this season, and we'll see Bronny Goat score a Brant goal and 2 Swiderski goals tomorrow. You heard it here first. You know, 3-1 against the worst team in the East.
Now you're making a mockery of us, man.
I'm not. It's very.
You know,
It's possible.
if this is our wish list, I say Carroll gets 5 to put his name in the Golden Boot race for the season.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, why don't we just say Kalina?
Shit.
That's what I'm saying. Marks would score. Tell me I'm wrong.
On our
Oh,
side.
man, this man.
Oh,
leads.
no, right?
All right. On a positive note, this Sunday, Crown Legacy will take on Columbus Crew 2, right? As total contrast to Charlotte FC season, Crown Legacy has been flying. When they've been down 1-0, they come back and then they win on penalties, right? So they're undefeated at the Plex this season, right? Everybody, I'm gonna be out there. A lot of people will too. I think that'll be something positive that we can all look at and say, you know what? At least we have our MLS Next Pro team doing well, right?
What time's that game kick off?
3 o'clock.
3
3
p.m.
o'clock?
Yeah, so after you're done watching Charlotte get their second win against Chicago on Saturday, Sunday you can go and watch Crown Legacy get a win.
Man, you're ruining this.
How? By being positive?
You're ruining it.
I'm gonna come out to what you do. Are you doing the Graham Street thing on Saturday night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna come out there, man, just to rub it in your face. Hey, you were wrong, damn it, Jorge. Call yourself a reporter. You're a basement dweller, or whatever the hell they call us out there on Twitter.
Basement blogger, dog.
Yeah,
Basement
basement
blogger FC.
man. Yeah.
Nice.
Basement.
David, where can we find you at?
You can catch me on YouTube and on Instagram at CLTFC Yeti Clan. We've been posting a lot of stuff lately. I actually just reposted one of our reels from last year when we were facing Toronto when they beat us at home. My brother Brian said, keep the ball away from the Italians. Then the Italians got two goals on us. He said that on your fan reactions the week previous.
Yeah.
So,
and what did we end up doing? We got an Italian coach.
Well, that's where you can find me. I appreciate you having me on the show again.
For sure. Lee, Mr. Rant FC TV.
Yeah, tomorrow night. I mean, obviously, you find us at CO2FC Fan TV on the socials. Check us out on YouTube. Go over there, subscribe, like, and all, share, and all that fun stuff. Live shows on Wednesdays, unless we have a game. Tomorrow night, man, y'all come outside the supporter section after the game and come talk to us, man. Let's get it all out. Have some group hugs, man. You know, because we got after tomorrow night, we got the one game against Miami. And, you know, talking about Miami, I bet you if Messi started against us, man, we would win that game just because we're not expected to win.
After we've already been eliminated at a playoff.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, we finished out on a high note. We got this. It's coming together. This plan's coming. No, it's not. Shut up.
Yeah, even if you win the last 4 games, that's still only 5 wins out of the last 15.
And still not as many.
Even if you win those 4 matches, that's still a bad number, you know? So
That's ridiculous.
Maxwell, my man, thanks for hopping on tonight, bro. Where can people find you at?
All the socials at Crown Breakdown. Most of my stuff is on YouTube. Just go check it out and see if you like it. It's a lot of analysis stuff. Other than that, you know, come say hi to me at the game. I appreciate that, Lee. Thanks for having me on. It was fun this time.
Perfect. Y'all know where to find us at TopBin90 on all the socials. Listen, we got 2 games left at the bank this season. I mean, even if the team can't end on a high, at least the fans, let's end on a high. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the families we've created, all the people that we've gotten to know just through Charlotte FC, that's what I take away so far. Because from a footballing perspective, there's really not much that we can look at. But from a supporters culture of Charlotte FC, there's a lot for us to take.
Hey, Jorge, real quick, man. 2-1. The score was 2-1.